Alright, so in this lesson I'm going to show you how to create colorways. I put together this pattern really quickly, and if I click in here and zoom in, you might be able to see. So this one is created without line art, so to speak. There's a little bit of line art in some of these jellies, but for the most part it's nice paper cut looking shapes. So nice and flat, very simple. You can see this is easily something you could probably draw without using a tablet. These shapes are very simple. And then these can easily be done with the pen tool. So here's my pattern. But now that I have like the basic colors and the first way that I've done it, in this case I just sort of randomly put them together. Let's take a look at our swatches. I want to show you how to create multiple color options of your illustration really quickly. So the first thing I want to show you is when you take your tile, you can gather all the colors from your tile by simply highlighting it and hitting a new color group in your swatch panel. And I'm going to call this one Jellies. And you'll see it pulls all of the colors that are in this artwork. Now, in most cases, I'll usually, as I'm going, just start dragging the colors into a new group and then trying to reuse those colors because I don't want to end up with like 9,000 colors here. You want to keep your patterns a little bit on the simpler side when it comes to colorways. So now that we've saved all of those in a group, I want to create a new group really quick, and I'm just going to throw some random colors in it. Now that actually just redid what I did. So unselect, create a new color group. I'm going to call it Alt. And then in this case, I'm actually going to drag some colors right from up here into my color group. And you'll see why in a little bit. I'm going to show you kind of what happens when I do a recolor option. So not the best color harmony there, but you get the idea. There's a few colors there. So now the first way to recolor is pretty straightforward, and it's simply to just recolor it. So let's try that out. I'm going to go to Document Setup, Edit Artboards. I'm going to select that artboard and then create a new artboard, and that'll make it the exact same size. I'm then going to try to move it up, and it's going to try and grab this object, which is a little unfortunate because it's touching it. It thinks it's part of that artboard. So let's undo that actually. In this case, I'm going to select and put my new artboard up here. I'm then going to tell it to be the same size by giving it 10 inches by 10 inches and just scoot that right there. Click out, and here we go. Now I'm going to manually copy this up, and you'll see why in a moment. So I'm going to Option. Oh, maybe we're not going to get there. All right, let's try that again. Let's grab them all. And this time I'm going to group them just so I can grab them really quickly. And I'm going to Option, drag, holding Shift, and drop that up there. I now have a separate tile that I can work with. And the first way, and this is sort of maybe the old school way that I've done it in the past, and this is already a pattern, so this won't be a problem, is to come to my layers, move this tile to a new layer, and then lock the other layers. And that means I can't grab any of this other content, just the tile that I'm working on. I'm then going to ungroup. You don't need to do that, but I am going to do that. And I can use my magic wand to select different colors and then change them. So for example, if I want to grab everything that is this color purple, I can do that, and then I can go to my swatches or my color slider here and adjust that color and change it. And it will grab everything that's colored the same. But before you do that, you may want to check your actual selector and make sure that you're also selecting stroke color. And I actually put my tolerances at 1 or 0. And what that means is it will only select that exact color. So it won't grab all the light purples. It'll only grab the one you've picked. So same thing here. If I want to change the stroke tentacle colors of these little line arts here, as long as stroke color is selected, it's going to grab everything with that stroke color. And then I can change it to a new color. So we'll try like orange. So I can then do that. And then literally just work my way through the illustration, changing only the colors that I would like to change. And you can see it only selected this purple, not this very similar purple. And I think it might be wise to actually probably match those. So I'm going to grab my eyedropper with this one selected and grab the color from that. I think it's a little more harmonious to keep your colors a little simpler. Then use my magic wand again to select it, and then I can always kind of just swap my colors like that. So this is one way to recolor, is to go through by hand and just change the colors individually. But there's another way that I think is even better. So I'm going to undo all that, just Command Z my way back until I'm back to my original color scheme. And this is probably my favorite way, and this is called Recolor. So instead, I'm going to grab all of the artwork I want to change. I'm going to go to Object, Colors, oh no, it's Edit here. Edit, Colors, Recolor Artwork. And it's going to pull up this window. And what this window is going to do is it's going to allow me to change the colors of the artwork. Now, it looks like I got to move this over. So let's actually scoot that over first. And then go to Edit, Edit Colors, Recolor Artwork. And now what's so magical about this is I can actually select an alternate scheme and it will automatically recolor the entire artwork. And you can actually come down here and say randomly change saturation and brightness, as well as randomly change color order. So I'm going to do that, play around with it. So you can kind of just like switch and swap until you find something you like. That's one really easy way. Or I'm going to cancel this out because for some reason you don't seem to be able to hit undo while you're in this option, which is like the one disadvantage. You can probably reset it here, which I think is, let's see, I should be able to reset. It's faster for me to do this time. I'm sure there's a smarter way, but I do it only the way I know how. So Edit Colors, Recolor. And then instead you can always double click on a color to swap it. So you can actually click that and then go and pick a new color. So if I want to change that to a light blue, I can then click OK, and you'll see as long as Recolor Artwork is selected, you'll be able to see that change. If you don't like it, then just drag the color back into it. And you can just go through by hand and adjust that. Or you can select one of your used color schemes here. You can also just randomly change the color order using the same colors you already had, and it's just going to sort of switch them throughout the artwork here. So I think this one, was this one randomly color order? And this one is, oh, so no, I was changing the saturation, so my bad. Let's go back to randomly change color order. You see they're just going to dance around and sort of change until you find what you like. You can also grab color books to kind of pick schemes to play with. So if I go to fruit, you can see it's going to switch it to the fruit color scheme. And then I can kind of do some different stuff around. So another thing you can do is you can click on colors above to find them in your artwork. And if you click that and then select like this purple, it will show you exactly where you have those colors applied, which is what's really neat. So you can kind of see, you know, where do I have this purple? And then you can make adjustments that way. Sort of select and kind of look through. So that's another way. Recoloring is probably one of the most fun and easy ways to do it. And then you can, of course, always just use, let's uncheck that, always just sort of change everything like this. So once you're happy with that, let's say we'll just go with this wild scheme right here. You can just click OK, and now you have a recolored artwork to work with. And in this case, you may notice this is already a pattern I've created. I left the background transparent so that I could try this with different colored backgrounds. I'm going to go to Layers, and then I'm going to unlock it all so I can get back to it. And you can see that that is a pattern over top of a background color. Now let's turn this into a pattern, reapply, and try some new stuff. So I'm going to re-grab all of this. I'm going to go to Window, Pattern Options, and I'm going to say Make Pattern. It's going to say the new pattern has been added to the swatches panels. Any changes will be applied upon exit. So when I do that, it's going to bring me into the pattern adjuster. And then I'm going to change my tile to match the size of my tile here. So 10 inches by 10 inches. And I only know that because I've memorized it, so I actually knew it was that size. There isn't some secret thing I'm reading here. And that brings the tile together so that I have my nice, kind of smooth, seamless background. But something to note is you can come in here and adjust the placement of objects while you're in the pattern options panel. It will not affect your original swatch that you made over here, which is why I don't do this very often, but you can kind of push things and adjust them that way. You can also change the order in which things overlap. So in this case, I can see that this jellyfish is not overlapping here. I actually want it to go this way, and then I can change the overlap here, but you can see that cuts off the tentacles, so I want that one. When I'm done, I just double click out. Oh, and then of course Illustrator crashed. We're going to come back and see if we can fix that later, but I think you kind of get the idea. You're able to make adjustments in there. Let's say, see, we can reopen, hit OK. Okay, so we're pretty close. We're not too far away from where we were. Let's try that just one more time. I gotcha. Let's grab this, go to Window, and Pattern Options. We'll create a new pattern. It's going to add it to Swatches panel, and I'm just going to make those minor adjustments. So set it to 10 by 10, change my overlap, and then I'm just going to click out. Now, I can apply that pattern to any shape I make. So it looks like our layers are still locked, so let's unlock those. Grab this and apply our new pattern tile. So you can see now I'm able to apply this one. I can also apply this alternate one I created before, as well as this one, and that one. So there's some minor changes based on what I did. But now I can come to this background tile and play with some different colors for the background until I find something I like. So that's pretty ugly, but you get the idea that you can use the recolor feature or hand recolor yours to create multiple different colorways. And in the end, hopefully you'll be able to find something that really works for you.